It's the end of 2025 and I think it's good timing for us to do a grand top 6-star operators of Arknights. And what I'm going to do is to rank a top 12. Alright, in no specific order, 12 I think is a good number because that's the size of a squad that you would bring, and we're only going to be ranking the 6 stars. This list of operators is my own take as to who are the best units in Arknights. You may have your own take, so do feel free to comment down in this video. Without further ado, let's go through these operators. I'm gonna run through them from my own account and we're gonna make it a little bit suspenseful. Alright, so again, no specific order. Out of the 12 units, the first unit that I would name is from the Vanguard class, and I think this unit is pretty darn powerful for the many years that she's been in the game. Awesome utility, a hot pick for so many people, every time appearing in everyone's squad, super popular in CC. Yes, that's right, it has to go to Innes. I think Innes is just a downright powerful unit. I don't use her skill tree as much, but her skill tree is also wonderful, but that skill 2 is a brilliant bread and butter. The utility that she has, such that she's able to do a slow movement speed within her range, you redeploy her somewhere else, there is still that sentry sitting down there in order to still have that utility in play, is just so darn good. Free bind, no need skill on, and ability to steal attack is all brilliant. And making enemies lose invisibility is one of the biggest reasons why lots of people are bringing Innes into every single run. I think it's a pretty darn good unit. It's no doubt one of the best units in the game, albeit she doesn't have a skill that is maybe say as powerful as some of the bursty units, but one of the most insane utility that people don't live without. Next unit comes from the specialist class, and I think it's a surprise pick because people might feel that there are other stronger specialists, but personally, having used her in so many of the different stages, in some of the CC clears, IS clears that I've done, I think the utility she provides is insane. And the best part of all is that you don't have to be restricted as to where you place her. It doesn't matter if she's a ranged unit because you can also place her on the ground. You guessed that right, it's going to be for Ella. Ella, I think, is just an insanely powerful unit. Her damage ceiling is high thanks to that skill tree and also the module giving her some insane damage boost as well. Skill tree does have the wonderful ability to just cast Fragile for a long duration and also to slow down the enemies, which I think is just super good in terms of allowing all of your units to barrage, or in any case, if you need to slow the enemies down, you may also do so. Also does have a very nice skill too, where it's that splash damage skill, pretty good in some of maybe say the earlier stages of an IS floor in order to deal with some swarm of mobs that comes into play. But otherwise, I do think people might not consider her as a top 12, but having used her so much and that ease of convenience with the mine, I think people just need to understand how you need to not just leave her skill on and instead you're constantly just deactivating it so that mines become a bit more repetitive. You're able to place it all over the map in order to make sure that you deal with the problems of a stage. So Ella for me, top 12. This next unit comes from the sniper class and it's a fairly new 6-star. Lots of people enjoy using her skills because it's a big missile barrage, pretty darn good against elite enemies, boss enemies. You need some mob clearance, she can also provide just that. That unit is going to be Lemuel, a super cool design, super cool in the skill sets as well. Brilliant skill tree, as mentioned, it's a missile barrage, such that you don't just have to be restricted to placing it in her own range. She can also target enemies that are outside of her range as long as they have the wanted tag on them, which makes it pretty good against some boss clearance, or if certain enemies just get out of her way. Her skill 2 is also very nice because it's got a good damage ceiling. If there's no one that will consume her ammo, it's a wonderful infinite skill to enjoy. So I do think that this unit is probably one of the stronger ones for people to feel. It is a nice niche where she can target an enemy that is even outside of her range. Not many of the current units can do that. Yes, we have global range casters like Lapland and Golden Glow, but this is quite different in the form that it is basically someone that she can isolate for herself. So right over there, that's got to be a top 12. Next person that I'm giving top 12 to comes from the medic class, and this one has the ability to heal everybody. Negates quite a few of the mechanics as soon as she was released, because if you don't want any sanity damage, don't want any burn, don't want any necrosis, you call for her. That's right, it's Aya Fiela. Aya Fiela is just darn good. The fact that you can basically not have 3 medics in one stage, you can have it all the way down to just 1, and you have no problems at all. Even if a ton of elemental stuff are hitting you at once, it's gonna be fine. As long as you have a skill on, you manage the timing of it, I think Aya is just a brilliant unit. A pretty popular pick into every single stage that people go for. There might be some other medics that you guys consider, but no doubt when it comes to needing to heal your team, this is the one that people seek. So definitely Aya is in the top 12. This unit has definitely saved quite a few of your runs. Very good utility, very easy to use as well. If you have never guessed as to who this is, well, it's gonna be Escalon. So Escalon does have good skills all around from skill 1 to 3. Lots of people use skill 1 for AFK. Skill 3 is a pretty good AoE skill to use, although most people aren't thinking about this. The bread and butter is surely going to be on skill 2. Huge amount of movement speed down, very high attack up, and also big amount of poison damage that comes into play, which is pretty good against the hit count enemies, very good to dish out a ton of arts damage, and by keeping the enemies in her place because of that movement speed down, it allows your surrounding units to bombard all of their attacks into Escalon range, making it so simple in terms of like killing everybody easily. So even at E1, I think you can use her if you can't E2 her just yet. I don't think there's too much to explain about it. It's the ease of use and just how powerful that she is that makes her simply a top 12 unit. So stay within the arts category for this one because we're going to the caster class. This unit has appeared this year. Don't just have the ability to attack people within their own range, but instead it's all over on the map. Definitely super fun to use. It's nice to see all those wolves flying everywhere because it is definitely Lapland Outer. Not so often that you're using 1 and 2, then it's very niche scenarios, but otherwise it's always going to be on that skill 3. A low SP cost item to use. Low SP cost item? What the fuck are you talking about? SP cost skill for you to use. Again, as long as those wolves are not snapping onto something that is unkillable, it's always good in terms of flying everywhere. It can cast that nice arts AoE range, such that even if it's on an elite enemy taking some time to kill that particular enemy, the small enemies that comes by will also still receive that damage, which is pretty darn good. But apart from just the damage, there's also utility in play, right? She's able to cast a massive global silence, which is good, especially if there's a lot of enemies with abilities to disable. And when the skill is on as well, she's also able to inflict fear, right? Send the enemies to be stuck within their own range, unable to attack anyone for a little while, and then also giving them a movement speed down. Overall, good utility, good damage, simple to use, fun to use. This unit is just great. Top 12. Let's stay within the caster class because certainly some people will be wondering how could I be naming Lapland Outer and not this other caster. This caster has been so good to my own account. He's got so much damage in him. Oh, it's a he. You thought it was Ebon Halls? Of course it's not Ebon Halls. It's Logos right over there because Logos is just one of the biggest arts damage ceiling that we have within the game. Skill 1 is great for the fact that any enemy below his attack threshold will instantly vanish. Pretty good against those annoying sluggies that you see in certain stages, just a finger tap and no longer any ticklers within the stage. But skill 3 is definitely the one that lots of people are using. Able to hit multiple enemies at once, there's a nice range towards it, and also able to slow down the projectiles coming in the way, which is good in terms of sustaining any range damage attacks. Also, his module allows him to get even more damage thanks to the fact that he can cast Necrosis. When enemies are under the effect of Necrosis, they will get an explosion, which is just a fixed amount of damage, and they will also get a big amount of attack down. 50%. They will also receive elemental damage per second, which is pretty darn good. If these enemies are under the burst effect of Necrosis, there's also extra elemental damage that he deals. So it's just damage on damage, such that it's so easy to peel away enemies even if they have high resistance. And speaking of resistance, he's also able to reduce the resistance of enemies by -10 and also have even bigger arts damage. There is a nice utility where there's a chance for him to cast slow to the enemies. If you can increase his attack speed, that slow chance, will get even bigger, which is pretty nice to have. Overall, pretty powerful unit for everybody to want. We're heading into the Defender class next, and this unit is someone that I use so heavily in many of my different clears thanks to the fact that he's got a very special niche onto him. No other units can do it. There's one other unit that does something similar to it, but the fact that he's able to just pull people into his range, it gives so much unique strategies, and that is going to be Yu, a limited unit right over there. Yu does have that skill tree which most people hear of, being able to give the arts damage dealers the ability to burn. Nice, but I would say that skill 2 being that low SP cost, being able to pull the enemies into him, increasing his block count, his HP, his attack, and also causing that big amount of burn, it is such a satisfying skill. There are bosses that are also not immune to teleport. In fact, some of the newer bosses don't even have immunity to teleport. So the fact that you can change their pathing, whether is it the elite enemies as well, it's really good in a sense that you can make everybody barrage into maybe say Yu's style, or if not, just let Yu be the soloist to kill everybody with that single skill use. It's overall just a brilliant unit. Apart from the teleporting, there's another unit that also satisfies a niche that I think no other units in the game can have. The ability to not just stay within his own tile, but to fly over to the other side of the map to do a huge amount of damage. That has to come from the guard class, and it's going to be Upenius. Upenius' classic skill is that skill tree. 25 SP skill, super simple to use, long skill duration, HP goes up, attack goes up by a huge amount, and a long stun duration of 6 seconds. It's an insanely good skill. I must say that when Upenius first released, I didn't think too much about it, but the more I use him, it is very busted. Very good to, of course, group together with the Abyssal Hunters. If you're playing things like integrated strategies, tons of artifacts will help this guy, right? Stun time up, the initial SP on deployment, increased SP regen, it's all super done nice. If you're going for an AFK version of Upenius, you do have that skill 2, which is also good in terms of increasing his attack and his block count, but otherwise there's also the ability for him to regen. If there's enemies that does come some kind of like poison-ish damage onto him, he will still be able to restore HP whenever he takes that damage in. And it's just all done good in order for you to enjoy. Upenius up there, top 12. Are you ready for this? Because I did mention I'm not going to be ranking any of the units in front. We've covered 9 out of 12 units, but now that we're down to the last 3, this is a pretty clear-cut top 3 to me. So I am going to say who's in first place, second place, and third place in terms of the strongest 6 stars in this game. So, without further ado, the third place is gonna go to Exia Alter. Exia Alter has such a big physical damage ceiling. Skill 2 is really good to use in terms of good ASPD as long as she can steal it from someone. The ability to hit multiple enemies at a time, you know, a pseudo AoE kind of splash range. And the fact that she can get a good barrier. Huge amount of HP increase that it gives to her. Sustainability of this unit is just pretty damn good. Exia is great on the skill 2 and also on the skill 3 for the fact that skill 3 is a very fast skill, quite similar to the old Exia skill 3 as well, you know, a Gatling gun, smaller damage peak than the skill 2. But yet, if your enemy don't have as high of a defense, you can comfortably use the skill 3 to just slam them all down. And also the nice ability to redeploy someone if you need that sort of situation. The talents for her is also great that she can heal herself if she requires to, and she also has the chance to bombard even greater amount of damage. There is some assistance to ammo type units as well, so if you're playing a Laterano squad, it's going to be great. If you haven't used her next year yet, you haven't gotten her yet, borrow it. It's pretty clear cut that this unit is one of the strongest in the game. Okay, moving on. Now down to the final 2. It's between second place and first place. And in my personal opinion, the second place strongest unit in the game, that has to go to Wizardel. Wizardel doesn't even need explanation. Everybody has tried this unit, whether to borrow it or if you have her in the account, she is too darn good. Oh, Wizardel! Oh, you naughty Wizardel! She's so good, I couldn't even make her a mod 3 because I couldn't resist myself. You know, I cannot experience this type of damage, but you guys have because you have a mod 3 Wizardel in your account because you know that her skill tree is damn good. The ability to have the summons that's in play, doing a huge amount of just cannon damage, the ability for them to have good auto attack that is in play even after her skill is turned off, camouflaging herself is also pretty darn good. Skill 2 also is a nice skill where it's able to bombard lots of shockwaves onto the enemy, hitting multiple people at once. And there's also a nice skill 1 auto skill if you require to use her. This unit is so easy to use. People call her the brain dead queen of the game, right? Just don't need to think, place her down and she clears everything for you. Maybe just have some defenders to hold the enemies, have a bit of healers, have some vanguards. You can complete the team with her as just a solo DPS in so many stages. So of course, that's our second place. I know some of you are shocked now. You'll be thinking to yourself, wait, Wizardel was not number 1? Who is the first place unit in the game? Funnily, this first place unit is only just recently released in Arknights, so it's only been a few months since people experienced him, but it's so damn good. Big damage, big utility, elemental stuff going on to him. So easy to use. It's definitely gotta go to Mr. Dragonverse. It's a crime that he doesn't have L2D, by the way. One day he's gonna get an L2D skin, but this guy is top notch. I didn't think he was crazy, but I gotta give it to him. That cat sure knows how to do big things. Skill 2 is the classic skill that most people will be using. It's very easy to charge. Simply place the cat down, it can lure the enemies into the cat. If you don't want the lure, you can even retreat the cat. Whatever that you do, it will cast a giant bomb that will cause this sort of paralysis damage, or basically nervous impairment. So nervous impairment will cause the enemies to, have that sort of explosion yet again. If I just shift my camera down, it has a big amount of elemental damage, and it causes the enemies to be unable to attack for 3 stacks. So they'll try to hit, and nothing happens for 3 times. And if you can repeat it again by putting in the cat, you could actually cause an enemy to no longer attack if they have a low attack speed. But the fact that you can lure them as well, it also causes them to have that movement speed down, which is pretty damn good for you to enjoy. It's just crazy what that skill 2 does. Skill 3 is also great. I haven't been using skill 3 as much, but it's also easy to use in terms of casting lots of nervous impairment onto everybody. If, let's say, any of the enemies don't have that nervous impairment yet, they will try to take it, and then otherwise those that have it will just be able to receive more damage. It is overall just a pretty damn good skill. 2, 3, 1 is okay for people to use if they want to, just to get that bind, but yeah, 2 is just the easy one in order for people to enjoy. Definitely, if you haven't experienced him yet, go borrow from a friend. You will realize how simple it is to cheese tons of content together with him. And that is my top 12 6-star units of Arknights in 2025. That is my own tier list. You guys might have your own view as to who's top 10, 12 or 20, up to you. I wish I could have named more units. There were so many that I had to resist naming within this video, but to me, this was my conclusive 12 that I think are the bestest of all in this game. I hope that you guys didn't mind the opinion that I shared. I mean, Wizardel is about to come out from the poster to kick me very soon. But I hope you liked whatsoever that I presented in this one. And let me know how you feel towards the strength of the units in the game. Things might change next year. Maybe the older units might surprisingly perform better little that we know it, or the newer units might come to play. I might do it again at the end of 2026, but otherwise, that's what I'm just gonna put for this video. I'll see you guys in more videos to come. Alright, bye.